What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tevi, and this is Invest with T Claus. In today's video, we're talking NIO. NIO is one of the 4 cornerstone stocks in my portfolio, and because of the insane growth it's seen in 2020, it actually now holds the #1 spot, even beating Tesla. Well, to be fair, Tesla is still my #1 holding overall, but specifically for my Robinhood account, the one that we're tracking here, NIO now holds that #1 spot. And if you consider that the first shares of NIO that I bought were $4.65 at a current price of just shy of $49, NIO has more than 10x'd. And it would be easy to take my gains, run, and lock that in. But the reality is, I strongly believe that NIO has a lot more room to run, not just in 2021, but beyond. And if you're interested in hearing how much more room I think NIO has, stick around. So in this video, we'll do a quick overview of who NIO is and a recap of their 2020 performance. We'll follow that up with what sets them apart from the competition, then cover some of the 2021 catalysts that I believe will help push the stock price to the $100 mark. Yes, you heard that right. I said $100 in 2021. And we'll wrap things up with the weekly performance review, gains or losses. But before we get into it, I want to give a quick shout out to Megan Niven for getting started on her investment journey and getting her first free stock by signing up through Robinhood. If you're interested in getting your own free stock and getting started, you can use my referral link below and get a free stock in the process. All right, let's get into the video. So who is NIO? NIO designs, manufactures, and sells smart electric vehicles. They're based out of China, and their name means blue sky coming. That is also their guiding philosophy behind everything that they do and stands for their commitment to a brighter tomorrow. Their current lineup consists of 3 SUVs, the ES8, which is their flagship model, the ES6, positioned right below that, and the EC6, which is a coupe-style SUV aimed squarely at the Tesla Model Y. Now, given their 2020 year performance, you wouldn't realize that NIO actually almost went bankrupt earlier in 2020 and literally had to pull one of these. Honestly, I feel like that scene was filmed for this exact moment. As NIO fell to the ground and it looked like all hope was lost, Trinity swooped in and saved the day. Now I'm guessing at this point you're asking yourself, who's NIO's Trinity? Well, NIO's Trinity is actually made up of 3 different entities, the first of them being Tencent. Tencent is the world's largest gaming vendor, as well as one of the world's largest investing firms. The second one is Baillie Gifford. Remember those folks with the invest in decade mindset? Yes, those same people. In 2018, when NIO went IPO and hit the market, they bought a bunch of shares because they believed in them. And in early 2020, when NIO looked like it was going to go bankrupt, they bought more. So now they own about 12% of all of NIO's available float. And last but not least, the Chinese government. Remember what I said about NIO being the EV national pride? Exactly. When NIO was in trouble, the Chinese government bailed them out. Now that we know who NIO's Trinity is, let's find out why Trinity is backing up NIO. There are 7 key differentiators that set NIO apart from its competition. The first one being NIO Houses. This revolves around community and lifestyle. One of the things that made Tesla what it is today is the fact that Tesla's customers feel a sense of community and they believe in the company's vision to create a better tomorrow. Well, NIO took a page out of Tesla's book, took it a step further, and created exclusive clubhouses where its customers can come together, hang out, and celebrate life events. You see, NIO's CEO believes that the electric vehicle is more than just a means of transportation. It's the starting point to a joyful lifestyle. And as such, it should make you feel good, support the community around you, and support a cleaner world around you as well. The second key differentiator, and probably the most noteworthy competitive advantage that NIO has over the competition, including Tesla, is their battery swapping technology and the business model they were able to create around it called battery as a service. Now, battery swapping technology is not new in itself. It's actually been attempted in the past by a company called Better Place in 2008, but ultimately they weren't able to scale it and had to give up on it. And the second company who gave this a shot was Tesla in the early days, but also quickly realized that it was very capital intensive and had to give up as well. Now, when you have Trinity backing you up, things that are very capital intensive all of a sudden become very feasible. And this is why today, NIO is the only company that's been able to successfully scale this. Now, some of the benefits that come along with being able to swap out your battery is that you can get back to a full state of charge within 3 minutes by visiting one of the swapping stations. Also, because the batteries are swappable at any given time, you can actually purchase the car with a lower capacity battery and over time upgrade. So the upfront cost to the vehicle is a lot lower. And think about if you're going on a road trip, right? Instead of having to stop all the time and recharge for, 10, 15, 20 minutes or more, you can actually just visit one of the swapping stations again and not only swap your battery out, but also rent out a larger capacity battery so that you can drive longer to the next station. The third differentiator is Nomi. He's the onboard AI concierge who adds personality to the in-car experience and responds to all natural voice commands. The fourth differentiator, again taking a page out of Tesla's book here, is the over-the-air software updates. The NIO Power Mobile service is the fifth differentiator in NIO's arsenal. This really plays up on the convenience and peace of mind side of things. Think of it as a AAA service that NIO owns and operates. And let's say that a customer was to get stranded on the side of the road. They could call this number. NIO will dispatch a van with a portable charger on board that will go and meet the customer wherever they are and charge up their cars. Now, when you think about range anxiety, which is probably one of the biggest concerns for EV owners, this takes care of that. The sixth differentiator is autonomous driving. Now, you can't have a smart EV that hopes to compete against Tesla unless your vehicles come equipped with this capability. To that end, NIO partnered with Intel Mobileye, who also uses a vision-based system in their autonomous driving software. And if this sounds familiar, it's because the people at Mobileye are the same folks who helped Tesla in the early days create the first version of the Tesla Autopilot system. Now, judging by the version that's playing on the screen, which is what NIO will be using, it's looking very, very promising. And that's exciting news. Last but not least, the seventh key differentiator, and probably the most important one, and also the reason why NIO is where it is today and why Trinity backs up NIO, is because of their founder and CEO, William Ben Li. And so I could spend a decent amount of time telling you about who he is, why he's so accomplished, and why he's such a visionary CEO. But instead, what I will do is I will link a video in the description below that you can go watch on your own time and learn more about him. All right, so let's jump to the 2021 catalysts that are coming our way as early as tomorrow that will help push the price of the stock up, and why I expect that before the end of the year, NIO will actually hit $100. Okay, people, so let's talk catalysts for 2021. But before we get into those, I want to remind everybody again watching that I am not a financial advisor, and my only goal here is to bring awareness to some of these events that are coming our way. And hopefully this helps you make a better informed decision as we move forward. All right, so with that out of the way, let's go through the list here. And I'll be using my phone just so that I don't miss anything of what's coming our way as early as tomorrow. So the first thing here that's coming our way is going to be the December delivery numbers that NIO will be posting. And we expect anywhere between 5,000 to 6,000 or so that they will have delivered in the month of December. And if that happens, that should bring the total for the quarter to somewhere between 16,000 to 17,000. Assuming that that happens, that will be massive good news for NIO, as they've just again shattered quarter over quarter and year over year their delivery numbers. That's positive news that should help move the stock price in a positive way. This next one that's coming our way here is NIO Day, and that's going to be on January 9th. And what's so significant about this event is that this is where we expect to hear the latest and greatest about what NIO has in store for us in 2021 and beyond. The first one on the list here is going to be this new battery pack that they're releasing. It's going to be 150 kilowatt, and this should be good for nearly 600 miles of range on one charge. And more interesting and frankly, massive good news for us is that the battery pack will be available and swappable between existing models and future models. And that in itself is massive good news, right? Meaning that if you bought an ES8 or an ES6 or an EC6 a year or two ago, you will be able to swap your old battery for this new 150 kilowatt bigger capacity battery. Beyond that, we also expect to hear that they will be introducing two new models, and these are going to be sedans. One's going to be their top of the line, and the second one is going to be aimed at competing against the Model 3. So one is going to be a Model S competitor, and the second one is going to be a Model 3 competitor. Now, keep in mind that up until now, NIO has not had a sedan, and this should open up a new world of customers and revenue for NIO. Last but not least, we expect to hear a lot more about what's going to happen with your autonomous driving in this coming year and the next generation of software that they will be using. Now, keep in mind, these are the things that we know they're going to be talking about. There's going to be some surprises, and that in itself should help, again, move the stock price in a positive way. After that, we expect that in February, the first week of February, we'll hear how they did in January. So again, every time that we hear massive news or good news on their delivery numbers going up and them breaking records, which I expect that they will keep doing, it helps push the price up in a positive way. And in early March, we should hear their Q4 earnings. So that's when we'll hear exactly how many cars they've truly delivered in the month of, in the last quarter of the year of 2020, as well as their guidance for this year on how many cars they expect to deliver. So what does this mean to you as an investor? And why do I believe that between now and the end of the year, NIO can move from the current state of $49 or so all the way to $100 and maybe even beyond? If you consider all the good news that's coming our way, the expansion into Europe, and the fact that between 2018 when NIO went IPO and now, they've only sold cumulatively somewhere around 70 to 80,000 cars, given that they hit their target for the last quarter of 2020. And you consider the fact that they've guided or announced last year that they've now secured capacity to produce upwards of 150,000 cars for 2021. Well, this is double what they've done in the last 2 years. So they're poised to double their capacity and their production and deliveries in 2021. Well, this means that they're going to be doing double the revenue. Their margins are improving. They're currently at 14.5%. I believe by comparison, Tesla, who is the king when it comes to margin improvements, manufacturing updates, and everything else, they're running at somewhere between an 18 to 20%. So NIO is not too far behind them. And with the BaaS, Battery as a Service business plan, they're getting a constant stream of revenue from every single customer. So if you put it all together, it's not inconceivable that the stock price will follow the revenue. And as long as they continue to execute and hit all their milestones for the year, we can easily see at least a double in the stock price by the end of the year. Now, let me know in the comments below if you believe that NIO will hit $100 or if you think I'm crazy. And maybe if you have a crazier price target, put it in the comments below. If you think that, NIO is basically going to crash and burn, put that in there too. Definitely want to hear from you guys and what you think NIO will do in 2021. All right, people. So here we are for our weekly performance percentage gain or loss. And I'll turn on the screen recording and we'll walk through how well did I do, and I'll pop it up on the screen here. If we look at the screen here, we can see that the week actually started off on a pretty good note. We get as high as 6.6%, only to take a pretty big tumble all the way down to 7.2%. That's a pretty big swing. I mean, as scary as it looked, again, this was a good buying opportunity. I didn't buy anything, but if I had money, I would have. From here, it kind of creeped slowly, but made its way all the way back up. And we had another little peak here right before the year ended at 3.95%. And then since then, that's pretty much where we closed out the year. And we've kind of creeped up over the weekend to today and ended the week with a 3.27% gain. So I like to look at it on a weekly basis because the day-to-day swings are, frankly, sometimes a little violent. And if you judge your performance just based on how you did today versus tomorrow, it can be very misleading. So a week is a good time to kind of start seeing the trend and decide if you need to make any kind of adjustments or if you should just continue the course. And in this case here, clearly we're trending in the right direction. So everything is good and we're off to a great 2021. I hope that you're doing just as well in your investment journey. If you're interested in getting started, you can use my referral link in the description below. You'll get a free stock I'll get a free stock as well, and I'll give you a shout out in one of my next videos. All right, people, this will do it for today's video. If you enjoyed what I had to say and found the content insightful, please drop me a like and share with your friends, and this will greatly help the channel grow. Also, as I mentioned in my video that I will link up here, next week, around midweek sometime, I will be posting my top 10 picks for 2021. These are stocks that should help you either diversify your portfolio or get started in your investment journey. Now, this will also be the last video that I post off of the normal Sunday rotation. And make sure that you turn on that notification bell so that if I do end up posting off cycle, you don't miss any future content. Once again, thank you for watching. Stay humble, hustle hard, and I'll see you in the next one.